today's video is about self-harm and what you can do if you suspect that your child is self-harming. Self-harm is when people deliberately hurt themselves as a way of coping with really strong or intense emotions. It's not limited to just cutting. People also can engage in burning themselves, skin picking, scratching, head banging, hitting themselves, and other things. If you discover that your child is self-harming, you might experience anger, denial, guilt, helplessness, fear, and worry. It can be hard to understand what's going on and why. Your child might not even be able to explain it to you. What's really important is that you remain calm, non-judgmental, and open to listening to what your child has to say. At some point in our lives, we all have to cope with distress or pain. This could be physical pain or emotional distress. Some people experience this pain or distress more intensely and more severely than others. For them, it can seem like a tidal wave of overwhelming distress, and it can seem like it's going to be going on forever and never stop. Self-harm provides them with a way of coping with these intense and overwhelming emotions. Other reasons that people report that they self-harm, as opposed to just coping with these emotions, is if they're feeling really numb, it helps them to experience something other than the numbness. It can serve as a way of punishing themselves when their self-worth is really low. It can also help to communicate to others that they really do need some help. Self-harm can become addictive. When we experience a sudden rush of pain, our brain actually releases endorphins, and this acts as a reward. So that's why once you start, it can be really hard to stop self-harming. If you find your child self-harming, it's important to avoid reacting with anger or threats or saying that your child is just doing it for attention, because most self-harm isn't done to get attention. It's important to speak to them calmly, directly, and without judgment. You might say something like, "I can see that you're very upset. I hadn't realised things were so bad for you. You can talk to me about this and I won't get angry." If they appear to be zoned out or unresponsive, this is something that can happen at times when people self-harm. Just calmly say their name and then ask them if you're able to get help for them. Provide first aid for any cuts or injuries in a calm way without any fuss. Get medical attention for anything that needs it. This can show that your child that their body is important and worth caring for. You might say something to them like, I'd like to help you manage those injuries. Can I please help?" If you suspect that your child is self-harming, try to talk to them about it. I know that bringing up a conversation about self-harm, or really anything with your teen, can be incredibly difficult. Perhaps try and make sure that it's done in a private setting, a comfortable setting, and not immediately in a reaction to a particular event or situation. Some questions that you can ask to start the conversation include, "I've noticed the scars on your arms. I hope it's okay to say that. Can you tell me about the times when you hurt yourself?" Or, "The fact that you're self-harming tells me that you're very upset. You might not like it that I've found out, but I would really like to talk about it when you're ready." In terms of other things that you can do, it's really important to seek professional help as early as possible before self-harm becomes a repeating cycle. Remembering to remain patient with your child, show your love and respect, and maintain hope. Acknowledge to them that strong feelings are normal, even if we don't like them, and that when you're in your teens, things can seem even harder. Another way that you can support your team at this time is to encourage them to problem solve. So how you do this is talking with them about what the actual problem is, encouraging them to come up with as many possible solutions as they can think of, offering some of your own if the need requires, and then look at the pros and cons for each of those solutions. Encourage them to try the best option and remind them that if they fail with that one, there's always other options to try. Offer less harmful alternative options for self-harm and encourage them to create a kit that they can access at any time. There are some ideas for alternative options for self-harm that will be posted on the website along with this video. So for most people, self-harm is a coping mechanism and it's not a suicide attempt. However, there is always a risk that someone might harm themselves more than they intended to. Also, as self-harm repeats itself, people can feel an increasing sense of hopelessness, and that can lead them to feeling suicidal. Ask your child about any feelings of or thoughts of suicide. This isn't going to increase the risk that they will attempt suicide. It will start the conversation and help you understand where they're feeling and what risks there are. Remember that you cannot change things for your teen. Your role is to be there to support them without judgment and calmly, and to offer them options where they can seek professional help, which will let them learn other ways that they can cope with their distress apart from self-harm. If you have any questions about this video or have any concerns about your child, please reach out to your child's year level manager or one of the wellbeing team members as a starting point. And then I'm here as well to help if you need.